Ready for a deep dive. Today we're talking decimals, using 8. Decimals.pdf. They're everywhere, but we rarely think about them.
Yeah, they're sneaky important.
Imagine no decimals like at the store. Chaos.
Right. Managing money, comparing prices. Forget about baking. Decimals bring precision.
Our source starts with this market scene, Savita and Shama dealing with rupees and pays. It's like decimals in action.
Definitely. Savita's got 5 rupees and 75 pays. Boom, becomes 5.75. That little dot's a big deal.
Elegant, right.
Totally. Bridges whole numbers and fractions. But it's bigger than just rupees. Think currency exchange. Tiny decimal errors. Global market chaos.
Huge impact. Okay, so our source then goes on to talk about Ravi and Raju comparing how long their pencils are, and it's like 7 centimeters and 5 millimeters for one, and 8 centimeters and 3 millimeters for the other. Those millimeters seem tiny, but if you're building something...
Huge. Especially in engineering, design. Those millimeters matter.
A bridge, a building.
Exactly. Each millimeter is 1/10 of a centimeter. You need decimals. Tenths, hundreds, thousands. That's precision language.
So Ravi's pencil, 7.5 centimeters, that 0.5 is doing a lot of work.
For sure. Switching between units seamlessly, length, weight, even time.
This is making me realize decimals are fundamental, way more than I thought. Okay, we talked about decimals being precise, but how do tenths, hundredths, thousandths actually work?
Picture a number line, right? Whole numbers all lined up. But what about the spaces between them?
Yeah, there's a lot of space in between.
That's where decimals live. Values between whole numbers. Super accurate.
So 0.6 is chilling between 0 and 1. Makes sense? But where do the hundredths, thousandths go?
Think zoom lens. Between 0 and 1, 10 spaces for tenths. Zoom in on 1/10. Bam, 10 more spaces. Hundredths.
Whoa.
And guess what? Zoom in again. Thousandths.
It's like those fractal pictures. Infinite detail.
Exactly. Decimals are infinitely precise. Super important for science, advanced math. But breaking stuff down into smaller parts, that's not just decimals.
Oh, you mean like fractions? We see those all the time.
Bingo. Two sides of the same coin, really.
Wait, seriously?
Totally. Fractions is just a division problem in disguise. The answer is often a decimal.
I'm confused now. Give me an example.
Let's say you have 3/4. Divide the top by the bottom.
3 divided by 4.
Equals 0.75. Just like that. Our source even turns 115 into 2.2. Same idea.
Huh. So they're interchangeable. When would you use one over the other, though?
Good question. Sometimes fractions are just neater. Repeating decimals get messy.
Like 0.33333 going on forever?
Yeah, well, is way better.
Right. But for measuring real-world stuff, decimals are king. Remember Mahesh with his table?
Oh, yeah. The one he said was 156 centimeters.
Yep. Imagine that in meters, but with fractions. Nightmare.
My brain's hurting already, especially with 100 centimeters in a meter.
But decimals make it easier. 1 centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. 156 centimeters turns into 1.56 meters, just like that.
So smooth. Centimeters, meters, grams, kilograms. Decimals are the key.
You got it. And this leads us to another cool thing about decimals. You can do math with them. Adding, subtracting, just like with whole numbers, but with a special twist. So like if I wanted to add 0.35 and 0.42, is it the same as 35 and 42?
Almost. You're on the right track. Just got to keep your tenths with your tenths, hundredths with hundredths, like they're in invisible columns.
Oh, so you line up the dots, then add the hundredths, then the tenths, carry over if you need to, just like normal adding.
Exactly. Subtracting, too. Just keep those imaginary columns straight in your head, and you're golden.
So decimals, they're not just some math thing. They're like essential for how we understand the world.
For sure. Weight on the scale, interest rates. Decimals are working behind the scenes, keeping everything accurate.
A common language for measuring and stuff.
Right. And in science, medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And even tinier differences matter.
Yeah, our source mentioned thousandths, like 0.0001 smaller than hundredths. When does that even come up in real life?
Medicine's a big one. Think dosages of medicine. A tiny bit too much or too little.
Could be a big problem. What about like scientists in a lab? With microscopic stuff.
Absolutely. Those measurements have to be super precise. One tiny mistake can throw off a whole experiment.
Wow. Decimals can go from planets to atoms, huh? That's incredible.
Exactly. It's amazing how much they impact our understanding of, well, everything.
This deep dive has been eye-opening. Decimals. They're way more than just adding and subtracting.
Totally. It's been fun exploring this with you.
We saw how they work, how they connect to fractions, how we use them every day. They're essential for precision, from money to science to just understanding the world around us. So next time you see a decimal point, remember, it's a small thing doing a big job.